Makakasama natin ngayong hapon sina DILG Secretary Jonvic Remulla, DOJ Secretary Frederick Vida, at PNP Chief Jose Melencio Nartates Jr. hinggil sa update sa nangyaring investigasyon sa naganap na gun-related incident sa Senado noong May 13. Good afternoon, Sec. Jonvic.
Magandang hapon po. Kasama ko po ngayon dito si Secretary of Justice Vida, si Chief Nartates, para isaad ang mga nangyari noong May 13. Unang-una po, gusto ko pong isaad na pagkatapos ng 6 na araw na masusing pag-iimbestigasyon, paghagila po ng lahat ng available videos, interviews, affidavits, ay marami po kaming conclusion na nakuha. Unang-una po, for the record, all evidence points that there was no attack on the Senate. I would like to repeat, all evidence points that there was no attack on the Senate. The following will be a preview or will be a chronology of events starting from the pronouncement of Senator Bato when he said that he would be, when he gave warning that he would be arrested, up to the time that Senator De La Rosa escaped the Senate premises. I turn over the mic to General Nartates.
Magandang hapon, Philippine National Police, particularly nauna na po ang Pasay City Police Station na kung saan sila ang unang nag-imbestiga. And after the conduct of investigation by the Pasay City Police Station, the records of investigation was referred to the concerned prosecution office in Pasay City the next day, particularly to be exact, May 14, 4 p.m. ng hapon. And then, in the continuing investigation, nandun na po, sumama na po ang Criminal Investigation and Detection Group for the unearthing of records, facts, mga kailangan nating ebidensya to come up with a conclusions and recommendations, findings, conclusions, and recommendations. At ito pong pag-unearth natin ng investigation, lalong-lalo ng mga facts, lalong-lalo na last Friday, the Department of Justice have sent out directive to turn in all records of investigation papunta po sa Department of Justice. And then therefore, in compliance with the directive, we will be submitting the records of investigation to the Department of Justice, including the earlier records that was submitted to, referred to Pasay City Prosecutor's Office last Thursday, 4 p.m. And so, we have, meron po tayong, okay. So, ito po yung ating records coming from the probers from the CIDG.
Take note, it is called a gun-related incident. Okay, gun-related incident.
Okay. This is a gun-related incident, meaning there is a discharge of firearm in the premises of the Senate building last May 13. And this, as shown, ito po yung timeline. Minabuti natin na ilahad na before the actual shooting, to be exact, is actual discharge of firearm, that was about 7:45 p.m. kung titignan nyo. But before that, makita muna natin kung ano yung mga events before the actual shooting, and even after the discharge of firearm at 7:45, we extended up to 2:30 a.m. where Senator Bato de la Rosa escaped and or went out at the premises of the Senate building. Material po yun. So all of this will be sent to forwarded to our beloved Secretary of Justice. So at 5:23 p.m., nakita natin and or documented that Senator Bato de la Rosa have appealed to the public for support over some social media platform. At 5:58 p.m., the Senate adjourned its session, and 6:14 p.m., Supreme Court did not issue TRO. Meron pong nilabas yun. And at 6:57 p.m., Major General Mau Aplasca announced that somebody will be arrested. And pag titignan nyo na up to shooting incident na 7:45 p.m., discharge of firearm, up to 8:15 p.m., up to the time na 2:30 p.m. Next slide. Okay, ito po yung 5:23 p.m. documented. Next. Okay, the adjournment of the session of the same day. Next. Okay. This is the document that will show that the Supreme Court did not issue a TRO on the petition of Senator De La Rosa. Okay. Mau Aplasca announced that they are going to arrest somebody. Take note of the time, 6:57 p.m. Okay, at 7:05, nag-lockdown ang ating Senate for security. And at 7:11 p.m., the Congress article of impeachment is being ready to be received to the Senate, such that several minutes after, next, at 7:22 p.m., it was hand over physically to the Senate. Next. At 7:45 p.m., gunshots was heard inside the Senate premises. Take note of the time, it's 7:45 p.m. Next. And staff officials have announced that there was perceived NBI entered the Senate. Then next. At 8:39 p.m., we have pronouncement by the NBI that they were not involved in the shooting incident. Next. At 9:35, of course, our beloved SILG rushed to the Senate to ensure that maging stable yung lugar doon. Okay, and upon the request of officials from the Senate, particularly several senators. Okay. So up to the time that the Senator De La Rosa was seen leaving the Senate premises at about 2:30 a.m., madaling araw na ng the next day, May 14. So it's approximately about 6 hours after the shooting. Next. Okay. So on one day before the actual shooting and or discharge of firearm, May 12 particularly, umaga pa lang ng May 12, may nag-coordinate na po na nagko-coordinate na ang GSIS security officials and the OSAA security officials with regards to the security on GSIS. Okay. That will show that there was really a meeting. Take note that this one day before May 13. May 13 is Wednesday. Nagko-coordinate na po sila. Okay, next. And the next day, meron pong nag-implement po ng red alert status ang GSIS. So, naglabas po, in effect, naglabas siya ng direktiba sa hapon ng May 13, particularly May 21 po nilabas. Next. The GSIS security officer conducted inspection and identified nine areas, particularly nitong Wednesday na ng umaga or hapon, citing to tighten the security as shown yung A to I, particularly yung Gate 1 sa Jokno, Gate 2 on Macapagal Avenue, the GSIS Senate Common Gate, yung Common Gate po doon, yung in-between, and the Kalayaan Garden. Kalayaan Garden is on the northern part of the Senate premises and northern as well as the GSIS premises. We have yung pang-E, outdoor canteen hallway leading to the Kalayaan Garden. And itong glass door core level 5 hanggang helipad po ng level 6, level 7 and level 8. Next. So, in the afternoon of May 13, that is a Wednesday, may mga NBI na po na pumunta sa premises ng GSIS. This is to in response to the request of the GM Biloso of the GSIS kasi nagre-request sila to fortify the security of the GSIS. So, meron pong pumunta kaagad na 3 NBI agents and yung pinakita ko kaninang mga lugar, those are the things that the areas that they will going to fortify and or secure further. So next, ito po yung arrival ng ating mga NBI agents at the GSIS main building. Yes, sir. Teka muna, merong letter yon, pakitignan. In effect, their presence was backed up by a letter properly received at about 5:08 p.m. of the same day. Okay, ito po yung mga NBI agents. Okay, to sum up, there are 29 NBI agents. Nung una kasing investigation natin, ang nakuha pa lang natin nakita through CCTVs is 21. And after the conduct of the continuing investigation, we accounted 29 of them.
Please take note that none of the NBI agents had tactical gear with them. They were dressed as NBI agents, clearly identified, nakalagay, but none of them had tactical gear with them. They did not have a battering ram. They did not have provisions for shape charges to breach any door. So let's just make that clear.
Okay, to continue, please. Okay. These were the footages on malapit na to sa area kung saan nag-disburse ng firearm.
This is the NBI, this is the GSIS canteen, which is adjacent to the Senate second floor.
Okay, next. Okay. Again, site inspection at level 2 or second floor at 6:51 p.m. Out of the 29, there are 4 female NBI agents. Okay. Next. Okay. Um, Minutes before the gunfires were heard, ay merong naririnig din na nagdi-drill dun sa when you are inside the Senate premises and as well as GSIS premises, because at the GSIS premises, particularly at the ground floor, may pinto po doon na steel door na pinortify ng ating maintenance or security ng GSIS. So yun po ay recorded, and this is the proof that this was recorded.
For the information of the body, all entrances from GSIS, Senate to GSIS, or GSIS to Senate, since early in the morning, were being fortified by the GSIS maintenance. They had duly informed the maintenance of the Senate that there was going to be drill work going on in all the doors of the Senate of the GSIS connecting to the Senate. So again, the GSIS management, the Senate maintenance management had information that there was going to be fortification of doors in the GSIS area. So hindi gulatan to because conspiracy theories were abounding, but they were duly informed.
Okay. So there was a drilling, and the drilling sound maririnig, and they put bolt after drilling. I think several bolts were put, and then naglagay ng mga steel cabinet. And that is in the ground floor or first floor. Take note of the time, that is 7:39 p.m. Next.
For the information of the body also, the GM found it better to secure the entrances going into GSIS because Senator Bato had called for a people power movement, and had there been anarchy in the building, the GSIS contains billions of pesos of worth of artworks that are displayed in their walls. Had there been an overflow of people going to GSIS, the losses would have been incredible. So it was better, he found it better for them to secure the doors so that there would be no commotion going inside to the GSIS building.
Next slide. Okay. The next slide will show what happened after the drilling in the ground floor. And then we'll go to second floor, and this will show the second floor area. On the right side is merong pinto doon coming from, if you're inside, you have on the right side merong hagdan doon. But before the hagdan may bintana and merong pinto. And this area in this CCTV was requested or nakuha natin, secured from the CCTV of the Senate. This shows the NBI agents coming from the first floor kasi one by one sila paakyat. If marirecall nyo po, ang sinabi ko kanina, there are areas A to I.
Just to add, this CCTV footage was from the Senate CCTV room, not the GSIS. So, the Senate security had full view of the people who were on that floor. Take note that none of the elements are in tactical gear. All of them were just in conference. None of them were in formation to attack the Senate. They were just checking out every floor that was in danger.
That's correct, sir. And we take note of the timeline. The timeline is 6:52 p.m. up to 7:01 p.m. Wherein 6:52 sila dumating sa area na yon, and then they left that area at 7:01 p.m. for the appreciation of our dear Secretary of Justice. And take note, nung umalis na sila, At 7:02 p.m. particularly, dalawa po ang naiwan dyan, part na NBI agent. Agent Darwin Francisco and De Leon. Antonio De Leon. Okay, so makikita nyo dyan, dalawa sila. They are with the uniform of NBI. And naglagay lang ng upuan dun sa may hagdan. Take note of the time that is they started posting themselves there at 7:02. And take note the earlier my earlier statement that that place is within the jurisdiction or control of the GSIS. Okay, next slide. At 7:44 p.m., 42 minutes after dun sa debuting on the second floor veranda, ito,
Okay, General Laplasca called the pause please, pause. Pause. Rewind please to when General Plaska was addressing the units. Rewind 15 seconds. There. At that moment, General Plaska called in the OSAA operatives, including the PNP and the Marines, and gave the order to lock and load. So, in his order, you could see the Marines were cocking their guns. So it was lock and load. After which he proceeded to the hallway leading to the doorway where the NBI were previously reconnoitering. Okay, proceed.
okay. So that's the video when they organize themselves to go to the area.
Take note that pause please. Pause please. General Laplaska did it in full view of the press. In full view of the press, he gave the order of the lock and load, and he asked them to follow. He allowed them to follow up to a certain point. In normal situations, if there is a perceived confrontation, you will clear the building of all personnel because of possible stray fire. However, he allowed them to follow. Okay, proceed please.
Okay. So this is one angle of the video going to the exit door, going to the veranda.
As you can see, pause please. Pause. The Marines are in single formation according to their training, staying to the side of the wall. Okay, proceed.
Followed by the PNP.
Followed by the PNP who formed a perimeter line at the very end, at the end of the hallway.
Okay.
Proceed.
Play. Next, take note of this time. This is the CCTV footage taken at the veranda. The CCTV footage is owned by the Senate, and we requested it, and binigay naman. At this will show, kung matatandaan nyo kanina, 6:50 something, 6:52 p.m. up to 7:01, dumating yung bulk of NBI. And then, this is the actual video wherein makikita nyo may burst of fire. Merong usok.
Just to also be clear, makikita nyo during the video na may mga lights na dumadaan. Hindi po putok ng baril yun. Those are insects that are flying across the lens. But we will show you clouds of smoke and possible muzzle fire that actually occurred. Kasi may kita nyo mamaya, may gumagalaw-galaw eh. Baka akala nyo nagpuputukan. Hindi po nagpuputukan yan. Those were instruments of, those were insects. Look at that. Insects yung gumagalaw na yan. Okay, go proceed.
Pakibigay mo sa 7:46. 14 p.m. 7:46 yung operator. Makikita natin dito the first approximate time of a burst of fire. Yan, may usok na.
Teka muna. Rewind please. 3 minutes. Yan. Yung nasa may upuan siya. According to testimony of General Aplaska himself, he opened the door and he asked, "Sino ka?" The agent identified himself as NBI. Shortly thereafter, he fired 3 shots into the, not exactly to the direction, but 3 shots towards the to the vicinity of the NBI agent. And the fire, you can see the muzzle fire, the blast. Pakita mo, General. Rewind, please, rewind. 10 seconds. Yan. 1, 2, 3. 3 firearms. 4.
Sunod.
Yan. Papatok sila.
And nag-withdraw.
The NBI agent withdrew behind the air conditioning duct units. And because he was being fired upon, he discharged a cover fire. Yan, 1. Take note that the cover fire was because he was under the impression that he was under attack. 2, 3.
Take note na yung muzzle niya
It was not pointed towards the Senate. It was pointed as cover fire because he was retreating. Okay, and then play.
Okay. Okay, next CCTV. So, the next CCTV,
At this point, the officer in charge instructed the agents, do not engage, do not engage. So they retreated. He was waiting for them. There was that's not a gunfire. Okay? He was waiting. The instructions were, do not engage. Agent Ledesma ba? Ledesma ba yung, sino yung, ano? De Leon. De Leon was in retreat. He was waiting. He was waiting. Forward a little. Forward a little.
forward.
There. Then that was after the exchange. That was after the cover fire. He looked behind if there was anyone following him, and they both retreated towards the canteen.
Okay. Back. This place, tandaan nyo, back. Back.
Rewind.
Rewind. Dun sa former slide, not that one. Former slide. Sige, play mo yan. Ito yung makikita natin. That CCTV video is placed, the area is beyond this place. Okay, next. To further explain, play mo to. Play this video. Uy, nakorrupt na.
Conspiracy na to.
Play. This video is owned by the Senate. So we requested this video. And meron din tayo. Yung area Dito na yan. And then, this is the boundary, may pinto. Beyond that is yung second floor. Andyan yung mga OSAA personnel, including the Marines and Police. Before that, one slide before that. Sige. Okay. Up. Take note, nakababa yung baril niya. Muzzle down. This is an NBA agent when he was being accosted and or being challenged by
General
the
Plaska.
OSAA General Plaska. Okay, next slide. Next slide. Okay, this is the video footage also owned by the Senate. If you are inside the building at the second floor, that one is Jemel Ledesma, sir. OSAA personnel, yung unang-una.
So, pause. Pause. If you can see, pause please. Pause. If you can see, the certain Mr. Ledesma, member of the OSAA, was peeking through the window. Sumilip siya. Sumilip siya dyan. Rewind nyo na konti. 5 seconds. Rewind na konti. 5 seconds. And there he is. Stop. Go. And look. He bent down. And he was peeking through the window kung sino on the dawn. So clearly he saw that there was one person in the premises. Okay. Continue. Stop. Where is Mr. Plaska? Dito.
Plaska, the one being held by...
The one
Yes.
being accosted, held by the back.
Yes, sir.
That is General Plaska. Okay. Watch this.
Holding a long
Holding-
firearm.
He was holding a Scorpion CZ 9mm pistol carbine. Okay. Further, go. He opened the door. Opened the door. Asked. At that point, I think he was asking. And at that point, the NBI agent was retreating. At there, stop. You could see that suddenly the reactions of the Marines were in ready position. We assumed that this is the first time shots were fired by General Plaska. Continue. They closed the door. Continue. The office to the right is the office of Senator Ligarda. She was not there at that time. In a few seconds, mamamatay ang ilaw. There. They turned off the lights. The emergency lights went on. There. Emergency lights goes on in a few seconds. But there you could see the muzzle fire from the left. 1, 2, go play. Plaska went out. Okay. Continue. Continue. Then he came back. Continue. You could see muzzle fire. Plaska pointed the gun towards the window and tried to discharge the firearm. However, the gun jammed. He tried again, the gun jammed, and then his aide fixed the gun for him. Continue. After which, he discharged the firearm again. Mind you, there was nobody there. There was no shots being fired at them. Okay? After the last fire, this one of the 40 caliber, sino mang agent ba to? One last fire, Montilla.
Montilla, sir.
Okay, they retreated. Okay? So, this is the retreat. Three minutes 20. Okay, from all available video footage, from the time the door was opened and the first shots were fired until the last shot was fired, it took all of 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So you can see them here in retreat. The Marines are still holding steady in formation.
Ito yung before.
Entry pa to. Entry pa pala to. Entry pala to.
Another footage.
This is another footage. There, the press was held back, but they could see. Yung office ni Ligarde atas tabi, di ba?
Yeah.
Office ba ni Ligarde sa tabi niya? Yung dulo eh. Or just around the corner. Okay? Saan ka nakakita ng may shootout sa bay? Ganyan. Okay?
So, nung
Retreat.
nag-withdraw na sila, yan yung,
Retreat, take note of the time.
because the first shot was heard already.
Retreat ito. Forward please. Forward. Next slide. Here is the picture of the NBI agents regrouping. This is footage from Channel 5. Okay, I arrived there approximately 8:35, after which I met with the senators and I gave instructions for the PNP to do mopping up operations, clearing operations in case We did not know the nature of the incident yet. Yet I instructed them to mop up the building to see if there are any unwanted persons in the area. Now, there was a report of, we will show it later, of a tactical bag being left at the scene. It was the bag of the NBI agent who was guarding that door. It was retrieved by a certain
Masaya.
Mr. Masaya, and his job was simply to retrieve the bag. He was not armed. He had identification with him, but he was arrested because at the fog of war, you were not sure of what his role was. So here is Zian Ambrosio, who was embedded into the operation by accident. She was not invited, it was by accident. It's okay. Until now, I was in the premises. It was not clear to us what was happening. Okay. Now, shortly thereafter, forward it. Next slide. Okay, General, please explain the cartridges that were found.
Those are the documented CCTV videos, and of course, after the clearing operation, including the clearing of the bag that was left dun sa veranda kanina, SOCO operations were conducted. And during the SOCO operations, material to that is, of course, there was a discharge of firearm or shooting incident. We need to get pieces of evidence, particularly the fired cartridges. So in total, we have the SOCO recovered 4 fired cartridges. 44 fired cartridges. Particularly, merong 5.56 na na-recover doon sa veranda area outside, actually going to the garden in front of the canteen. Doon sa area na pinag-withdrawhan ni
This
agent.
was consistent upon the agent who fired cover fire on his retreat as he was being fired upon by the fire was being directed to him by the OSAA. Ayun yung 5.56 na cartridges na nahanap. The others, General?
Yes. As well as dun sa outdoor yon, 5 pieces 5.56. Okay? And another outdoor dito sa may walkway kung saan nagkumpulan kanina yung mga NBI, there are 3 9mm fired cartridges. Okay? We have recovered also 5 metallic fragments and as well as 3 lead core dun sa outdoor na yon, but this is hindi ma-recognize ang ating ballistics. Okay? We have also dun sa loob ng Senate before exiting yung exit door, there are 9 pieces caliber 40 fired cartridges as well as 27 9mm fired cartridge and 1 live ammo. Live ammo, meaning nalaglag na ammunition ng 9mm. Aside from that, may nakita tayong bullet hole on the door, the window, and the direction of the bullet that hold that door and the window is coming from inside, going outside. So, 6 dun sa pinto, through and through, and 1 was stuck on the door jamb, and several bullet holes dun sa window. And so, on the outside, wala tayong makikitang bullet hole going inside the building. Okay, so And per our ballistics examination, those 44 fired cartridges came from four firearms. So meaning, meron tayong 4 na shooter. And this 4 shooter ay identified to be Montilla of the OSAA and Ledesma of the OSAA, and the warning shots made by Agent Francisco of the NBI.
They were
556 when
they were cover fire, not warning shots.
Okay.
Cover fire on retreat, yung 556. As you can see, yung baril ni Charlie Dumlao
Montilla.
is identified. Yung kay Ledesma is identified. Police Major, retired Police Major Plaska was asked to appear today to the CIDG to turn over his firearms, but he refused to appear and gave an excuse. He was supposed to turn over his firearm so that we can run the ballistics, but he did not appear to the CIDG for the information.
So we have fully accounted the empty shells except for the 23 empty shells. Okay? Yung 23 empty shells na yun ay fired from one firearm.
To take note, the discharged fragments from firearm numbers 1, 2, and 4 were accounted for. The 23 other bullets are not identified with any of the 3 guns presented. We asked General Plaska to appear to submit his firearm, but he did not appear.
Okay. Take note of the report, our report, the SOCO report, that the entry or there's no bullet hole going inside the Senate. Okay, next. Okay, so those were the records of investigation that we will be sending to the Department of Justice for their appreciation. And now,
There is one more video that occurred at 2:30 a.m. Amidst all the confusion, one more video, please. The last video. So we had been doing clearing up operations. To clear that area took us several hours, but at approximately 2:30, please play the video.
Loading daw po. Sir.
Okay, it's loading. Give us 1 minute. Remember, please be reminded that General Bato de la Rosa was declared under protective custody of the Senate, as attested to by the Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano. That means they take full responsibility over his custody. Next. Give us 1 minute.
Forced 20% savings.
One last video before we end this.
One more.
Hindi niya lang. Loading na ba? Ayun na. Okay? Hindi pa yan. The last video, please. The very last
Last
video.
video, yung